In the vacuum of space, where silence should reign, scientists have stumbled upon something astonishing, a cosmic space roar. It's not a sound anyone can hear with their ears, but a powerful radio signal permeating the universe, baffling astronomers. The story begins in July 2006, when a NASA balloon experiment carried a sensitive instrument high above Earth's atmosphere in search of whispers from the early universe. That instrument, the Absolute Radiometer for Cosmology, Astrophysics and Diffuse Emission, or ARCADE, was designed to detect faint radio glow from the first stars. Instead, it found a booming radio noise about 6 times stronger than anyone had predicted. It was as if the quiet cosmos had suddenly broken its silence with an inexplicable roar. What is the space roar, exactly? Physically, it's a form of radio wave background radiation, essentially a diffuse radio glow that seems to come from all directions in space. Space itself doesn't carry sound in the traditional sense, but radio waves can travel through the vacuum. When Arcade listened to the sky, it was tuned to these radio frequencies, and what it detected was so unexpectedly loud that it drowned out the very whispers the scientists were looking for. This cosmic static is so intense that it drowns out the heat signals from the universe's first stars, hiding them behind a wall of radio noise. The discovery was a huge surprise. One scientist noted that the universe really threw us a curveball when, instead of a faint signal, they were met with a roaring background. From the moment it was detected, the space roar became a cosmic mystery. Researchers quickly ruled out obvious sources. It wasn't coming from our own Milky Way galaxy. The roar's signal is spread uniformly across the sky, not concentrated along the Milky Way's plane. And if it were from our galaxy, the Milky Way would need to be a bizarrely unique galaxy, with an enormous radio-emitting halo unlike anything observed. That scenario is considered unlikely. They also determined it's too strong to be the radio glow from early stars or known galaxies. In fact, detailed analysis showed it couldn't originate from primordial stars or any known radio sources. The expected combined radio emission of all distant galaxies fell far short of this signal. As one scientist quipped, to explain the roar by adding up normal galaxies, you'd have to pack them into the universe like sardines, leaving no space between galaxies. In other words, there simply aren't enough known radio galaxies to account for such a loud background. This mysterious roar seemed to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. A diffuse hum with no identifiable source. Naturally, astronomers began brainstorming possible explanations. One idea is that we might be hearing the collective radio afterglow of the very first generations of stars. The first stars in the universe were different from those we see today. They had no heavy elements, which could mean they produced copious radio waves without as much infrared light. Another theory points to hot gas in vast clusters of galaxies. Perhaps massive clusters permeated by magnetic fields could radiate radio noise that fills intergalactic space. A third idea is the presence of countless faint, distant radio galaxies that are individually too dim to notice. But together, their emissions blend into a loud background hum. However, for that to be true, these faint galaxies would have to be unbelievably numerous and close-packed, which, as mentioned, seems unlikely. Some scientists have even ventured into more exotic territory to explain the space roar. There are speculations about new physics or unexpected cosmic events. Perhaps dark matter particles annihilating could produce radio waves, or some unknown process in the early universe amplified the radio background. A few have gone so far as to suggest it might hint at effects from extra dimensions or cosmic strings, though such hypotheses are highly speculative. The truth is, none of these explanations has solid evidence yet. The space roar isn't just a curiosity, it's also a roadblock for astronomers. The loud radio background effectively masks the faint signals from the first stars and galaxies that formed after the Big Bang. It's as if the universe is giving with one hand and taking with the other, revealing an unexpected phenomenon while veiling the very thing the researchers hoped to find. Still, the discovery of the space roar is a profound reminder of how much we have yet to learn. A simple experiment to detect cosmic heat turned into one of the biggest astronomical puzzles of our time. More than a decade later, the space roar remains unsolved. In the end, the space roar remains an enticing enigma. Why is the universe so unexpectedly loud in radio waves? What is humming or roaring out there in the depths of space, unseen and yet detected by our instruments? It's a question that captures the imagination. The mystery of the space roar reminds us that even in what we thought was the silent void, the universe has surprises left for us. This roaring background might be a clue pointing toward new astrophysical phenomena or even new physics. Until scientists unravel it, we are left with a tantalizing thought. Somewhere in the cosmic dark, the universe carries a hidden tune. We have heard its first notes as a roar across space. Now it's up to us to keep listening, to peel back the static, and finally understand the secret symphony that has been playing unseen for billions of years.